What was your reaction? 86 plus LPA, that's a big amount.
I was in tears when I got to know. And the
Trust.
location is San Francisco, California, and it is a permanent work from home. Okay, we have mapped the real world to the virtual world. So now you have a connection. So this is the real world, this is the virtual world, and you can create anything on top of the virtual world. I haven't told my parents yet, which has increased my package to 90 lakhs. It's near to 90 point something. So it's above 90. But in an unpaid internship, every time you are learning something new, building something new, learning something new, building something new. After 2 years, you are here with an unpaid internship and you are here with a paid internship at the same place where you have not learned anything.
To all the viewers, that we are getting this from someone who has been a top scorer in his college, who has been doing great in sports, who has got the highest package. So
I know, like a lot of people say GP doesn't matter, but you have to have a threshold of what matters, what doesn't matter. It was unpaid for 2 years straight. So by the end of first year, you get to know all these. Now, what do you do from the second year? What
that's a big thing. It is in public. This video will be going in public, and
no
I
worries,
hope
no worries.
they will not see before you disclose this.
Yes.
For every engineering student, getting a job is one of the major concerns. In fact, right from the first year, we have this target in our mind that we have to get some package of maybe 10 LPA, 20 LPA, or even 30 or 40. Today, I have with me Swapnil Bhaiya, who has cracked a package of 86 plus LPA just as a fresher. And he is working as a lead engineer at a company called SuperWorld. And he will be discussing his journey with us today. So let me add him to the stream. Hi, Swapnil Bhaiya.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's get started with it, and I'll start with a bit of my introduction then. Okay.
sure, Bhaiya, please.
Okay. So basically, hello guys. I am Swapnil Kole, and I'm a recent graduate from IIIT BH, and currently working at SuperWorld as a lead engineer. You will get to know more of this as Ankur proceeds, and yeah, sure to have a good discussion about my journey around. Okay.
So, Bhaiya, the first question I would like to ask is, what was your reaction? 86 plus LPA, that's a big amount. What was your reaction?
Yeah. So if I tell you about my reaction, firstly, I was really happy. I was in tears when I got to know, and it was like I got to know back in August 2021 about this. Um, at that time, our placements also did not start for our batch, but I got to know. I obviously did not want to push it to, or let anybody know beforehand, because obviously I wanted all my batchmates to first get at least, placed somewhere, and then only I would proceed with it. But yeah, I was really happy. I was in tears, but more or less, I wanted to keep it a secret for some time. And on top
Yeah,
of everything, I felt that it was worth the shot, like worth whatever I have worked on for 1.5 years or more than that, whatever I have grinded all these days. Yeah, that was like, yeah, a result for all of that. So that was really good, and I still remember that day when I got this. So yeah.
so, and your parents' reaction? How did you tell them that I got this big package?
Okay, so honestly, if I would say, I haven't told my parents yet. They still think that I just work somewhere and get something out of it, but I haven't told my parents yet. It's gonna be a surprise for them. I'll tell you later what's the surprise, but more or less haven't told them yet. They will get to know very soon once I
It's been an
disclose the
year
surprise
and
act.
still.
Yes, I haven't told them. I had to keep it a
Yeah.
secret from them also. So yeah, what's next?
Okay, that will be a great surprise for them.
I know.
Yeah. So, can you please tell something about the company you're working in, Superworld, and what is your daily work like? How many hours a day you work, and yeah, all the things.
Okay, yeah, yeah, makes sense. So basically, if I start with the company, Superworld is a Silicon Valley based startup. It started in the year 2017 around, and we are growing. We have a totally unique idea, which is more of the metaverse before the metaverse started. Okay, so we were into the metaverse, we were building the metaverse before it was even a thing. Okay, so what we did, we knew some concepts, we knew the NFT concept and the metaverse concept. We did not know about it in short, but we were in that line only, we were building that only. Okay, so if I tell you how we started, is that we started with the idea where we have the whole world. That's why it is known as super world. We have the whole world, and on top of the whole world we have mapped a layer. There can be infinite layers on top of the world, but we have mapped a layer where we have divided the earth into 64.8 billion number of plots. Okay, and
Okay.
each plot is 100-meter cross 100 meters, so it's like 100-meter this way and 100-meter this way. So each plot is that much, and we have 64.8 billion plots. It can span over ocean, countries, cities, everywhere. Okay, and so we have divided it, and the easiest way to divide it by the latitude and longitudes. So latitudes are like this and longitudes are like this, and we have made a square out of it. At some parts it may be a bit, rectangular type, because the latitudes may be converging, sorry, longitudes may be converging and the latitudes being at the same position. So that's some challenges, but what we are doing, we have this 100 cross 100-meter plot. Now what we are doing with it, we are creating it into an NFT. What's an NFT? NFT is a non-fungible
Okay.
token, which is one of the applications of blockchain. So every token is unique. And how do we make sure that every token is unique? Because every token is a piece of earth or a plot on the earth, which makes it sure that yes, this is a unique token, this is a unique plot of land. And then what you can do with that land, you can buy it, you can sell it, you can trade it, you can do whatever you want on that virtual land. So this is a virtual land, we are not doing it on the real, like we have mapped the real world uh, to the virtual world. So now you have a connection. So this is the real world, this is the virtual world, and you can create anything on top of the virtual world. It can start from small AR objects floating around to advertisements, something you have left for your friend, like a message you have left for your friend, a post you have left for your friend to see while he visits that place. And this is all possible. We have a mobile app which lets us do this. So if you open up the mobile
Okay.
app camera, you will be able to see everything out there which have been created in the virtual world. I hope soon there will be Apple glasses which can make this into a really good possibility of all these things. And yes, that's what I feel like. Okay, now moving on to what next. Yes, so that is what our company is doing right now. We are into the metaverse, we are also into the NFTs world, all together mixed up. It's one of a kind, obviously, but now we have more competitors in the markets, but it's mostly one of
Yes.
a kind. Okay, so this is more or less about my company, what it does. Now moving on to what I do in the company. I work as a lead engineer. There was recently a bit of chaos, due to which I had to also take over the product management role. So I'm working on both the product management as well as the lead engineer role. And what I generally do is I mostly send things for developers. So I assign developers their tasks depending on what their capabilities are, what they can
Okay.
like do it well. So some guys who are really good in the UI, I give them design integration. Some guys who are really good at backend, I give the backend work to them. So I have I hand over all the tasks to the developers, and then they proceed with it. Then they submit a PR, a pull request, and I have to do the code review for it. I do the code review and merge it to the main branch, or the branch for testing. I send it to the testing phase, or the QA, quality
Yes.
assurance phase. And then after everything is done, I'm the one who releases these features to the website or to the web
Okay.
application. Okay, that's what I'm
Right.
doing as a lead engineer out here, out Superworld. And yeah, according to the work hours, on paper it's 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. Okay, And
Yes.
oh yeah, here you can see the job details. Okay, so I'll just go through this. This will be very much easier for me. So yeah, the
Yes.
company name, you saw it. The
Right.
location is San Francisco, California, and it is a permanent work from home. Okay, so that's what is written. So I have taken the work
Okay.
from home in India, and the job title is lead of real estate and NFT salon. It's actually the lead engineer role, but only considered to the web teams. So we have two teams: one which work on the mobile app, one which works on the web applications. In the web
Okay.
applications, we have real estate website or the web app, which lets you exactly what I told about the NFTs and uh, these plots of land together. And the
Yeah.
NFT salon is just another marketplace like OpenSeas, which lets you buy, sell NFTs and create NFTs. Okay. Then
Yes.
moving on, the work time is 8 hours per day and 5 days a week. So Monday to Friday, 8 hours per day. How my work is divided is that I have to be there from 9 p.m. in the night to 1 a.m. in the night. That's 4 hours.
Okay.
These times are very much very much suitable for everybody across the world working. So we
Okay.
get everybody in this time, all the teammates we have. So we generally conduct all our meetings, let's say from daily stand up to sprint planning. All these meetings are covered in this period, which is 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Okay.
my time. Okay, IST.
Mhm.
And the rest 4 hours, so I work this 4 hours, and the rest 4 hours I can take it over the day anytime, which means that it is flexible. I can do it in the morning, in the night, anytime in the evening, afternoon, whatever it is. Okay, so 4 hours
Okay.
there and 4 hours in the night. So this is on paper. It's mostly like 4 hours in the night, but in the morning sometimes I have to work 5 to 6 hours. But obviously I take lunch break, and also that sums up to be 4 hours only for 5 days a week. So that I guess that's a normal workload or a work time for every company out there in Silicon Valley as well as India also, up till now,
But
before any.
doesn't it disturb your sleep cycle? Like.
No, it doesn't at all, because if you see from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., like if you are
Mhm.
an engineering student, you would have gone way more than that, which was like up till
Yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
you studying for your exams. And rather than
Mhm.
it's just 1 a.m. 1 a.m. I feel in the world right now, 1 a.m. is a general time when you go to bed. So what I do is complete my work up till 1 a.m. and I am in
Mhm.
bed like 1:30, before 1:30. And but I
Okay.
also have this flexibility where I do not have to get up in the morning. I don't get up. I get up at 10 in the morning or sometimes 9 in the morning, having a very good sleep without alarms and all. And I start from, I get up at 10, I start at 10:30, 10:30 to just 4 hours, maybe 2:30, 3:30, 4. That's it. Then I
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
break for the evening.
That's so good.
So yeah, it's general. It's a normal. Once you get into the work field, you will get to know all these. And most probably, my responsibilities are I have to attend all high level meetings. I do the tech hirings also. I used to do the tech hirings, but now I am a part of the tech hirings, where any
Mhm.
technical role comes in, I have to stay in the interview process so that I might ask for some questions, see their capability and all. Also,
Mhm.
directing tech resources means all over the people or all around whoever people we have. I have to maintain them as a lead engineer, and I have to direct them to what next or what are the tasks which we have to complete. Okay. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's your answer, I guess. What's the next
Yes.
question? Let's
Yes.
see.
That's correct. So we can like next discuss how it all started. What were you doing in right from the first year? Like whenever we start into engineering, we explore different fields and then we pick a particular domain. And so, how you started and what was your challenge?
Okay, so starting from the very first year, first sem, I tried enjoying the most of my time. Okay, and but what I knew from the very starting, that I have to, before the second year ends, I have to get a good GP, because firstly, the GP is, I know, like a lot of people say GP doesn't matter, but you have to have a threshold of what matters, what doesn't matter. Like if you don't need somewhere like 9 and above, in if you can keep it up till from 8 to 8.5 and above, that's it. So that is what you need for your placements and any kind of roles, because most of the places they have screening. In the screening only your resume is shortlisted, or your resume is out if you don't have that criteria or that GP. So that
Right.
was my first plan. And I
Mhm.
came here, I saw that for the technical side, I have to do something out of the college world, which I have never done, which I have not yet, touched like that. But for getting GP, it's the same way what I used to do in school, is that study whatever is there in the notes, or like take notes from teachers, study them and get the marks. That's it. So
Mhm.
I felt that this is easy. And why is it easy in first year? Because you have less subjects and easier subjects, and most of these subjects are extended from your 12th standard, maybe chemistry, maybe physics, and mechanics, and all these things.
Right.
So I felt that to be easier, even though I tried enjoying a lot in the first semester. I was also enjoying in the second semester, but I had, a bit of workload also, where I started, studying. So I
Mhm.
studied also. And first sem, my GP was around 7.78, but the second semester, I was able to pull it to 9.27, which was the highest in my batch at that point.
Right.
And it was really good, like, firstly, achievement wise. And secondly, I was able to get a good GP to normalize what I lost in the first semester. But I knew that I have to pull something up by the fourth semester, so
Mhm.
that at a later point I don't get out of the interview process or some screening process just because I don't have a GP. And at a
Right.
later point in the third years, third year, fourth year, the GP, like getting a GP is very tough, I'm telling you, because the subjects
Mhm.
become more tough. There are more number of subjects and a whole lot more, and then you have to prepare for the interviews also, so you don't have that much time. So it's
Right.
better to be in the starting phase and get these things in the starting only. So that's how I started. But nevertheless, what I used to do and what I would suggest everybody to do is,
Mhm.
whenever you hear a new technology, let's say blockchain, let's say ML, let's say IoT, wherever you hear it, what you do is take out 2 to 3 days. If you're in the first year, take out from 3 days to maximum of 7 days, not more than that, to
Mhm.
focus and try to get the most out of it, so you know that what is that. And same way, if it's just 3 days or 5 days, you will be able to you will be able to cover at least 10 of these types of technology, so that you will know what it is. So you at least get to know, okay, what is ML, what is IoT, what is blockchain, what is web dev, and all these things. So by the end of first year, you get to know all these. Now, what do you do from the second year? What I would suggest, I'm telling you, you have to do this beside your studies, besides your GPA, besides your enjoyment. You do not have to crunch out the enjoyment, you do not have to crunch out the sports, because I was playing football in my first year and second year, so yeah, fine. So that also works. So
Mhm.
with all these things, you have to just add on to this small thing, where I told you in the first year, 3 to 7 days of technical side with each new technology. Write it down or make some notes. Then in the second year, come to those 10 list, or the list of those 10 technologies which you wrote in the first year. Now what you
Mhm.
do, you first shortlist from them, that okay, these are the ones I like, these are the ones I did not like it or I hated it at all. So by this time you will be having five. So you shortlisted out five of them, and you again have five in the list. Now do what? Now you have to give around 1 month to each technology to get to know what suits you the best. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
what suits you the best is what you should go with, because it's
Right.
it's not like that you are getting forced to work in this direction when you don't even like it. So
Mhm.
what I did, I took all these different technologies, be it competitive programming, ML, blockchain,
Mhm.
and web development, and maybe two three more, cloud computing, IoT. So I had all these lists. So what I did 1 month of each, like let's say 15 days to 1 month. You cannot leave it before 15 days, because you don't get to know that much in 15 days,
Right.
but not also more than 1 month. Okay, so that's the threshold. You can take 15 to 30 days to learn each of the technologies, and then make it a short that what you are supposed to get out of it, or what is the best that is suiting you. So I tried with competitive programming, I found it not for my taste or something like that. Then I
Mm-hmm.
tried one or two more. Then I came to blockchain and I immediately liked it. So I was like, let's go into this. So that was the first thing. Then I tried web development and I also liked it. So I went finally with two of them, which was blockchain and web dev. So once you exhaust your list, once you complete those 5 items in the list for 1 month, 1 month, after that, take the ones which you liked and move on with that. So this is going to be in your end of second year. So you start with those and at the same time start also applying for some internships with a very basic knowledge. Even if you have 1 to 2 months of knowledge in that field, you will be able to apply for that internship. At least the apply. So what happens in the initial interviews, because you don't have a project, you are still learning, you get a lot of rejection, but at least you get to know what are the types of questions that exist for this technology, and you
Mm-hmm.
can go ahead and make yourself better. So it's a practice interview, because you cannot lose time on real interviews getting all these things. So better start applying from the late second year, or you have all and learn parallelly. And by the time your second year summer break starts in, start doing some
Right.
internship, and with that only you should start also learning more and more. So that's my take on this. And from there I started my internship in second year,
Mm-hmm.
and I started my first internship in SuperWorld only, and
Okay.
then today I'm the lead engineer. So I started back
Yeah.
in May 2020. That was when COVID
Oh.
first wave hit, and from there it's
Mm-hmm.
been more than 2 years, and right now I'm the lead engineer out there. So yeah, what's
Yeah,
next?
that
Let's.
that was a really structured roadmap, and I think it will be very useful for everyone watching it. Right? So
Yeah.
you got into Superworld, but where did you exactly find about it?
Okay.
How
Yes.
did you get to know about this?
So yeah, let's start with how I proceeded with it. So firstly I found that, okay, I want to do something in blockchain, I want to do something in web dev. Now I did a job search or an internship search, more like. Okay, so there were few sites I went to. There was Internshala, I went to LinkedIn, I went to AngelList is something more of startups. Okay, now, my two approaches out here was, firstly, both the stacks
Mm-hmm.
should match, or at least one of them. Like, it can be blockchain and web development, it can be only web, or it can be only blockchain, that's fine. But nothing else than this, nothing out than this. So I started filtering out the roles that I
Correct.
want to do something in the blockchain. More of, I removed the competition. I tried to removing the competition. How did I do that? Is for internships, if you want to stay away from the competition, go for unpaid internships, so that people, like, if you ask a crowd, and most of the people would go for or prefer paid internships.
Yes.
So if you want to stay away from the crowd and easily succeed in your role, just go for an unpaid internship.
Mm-hmm.
And I went for this unpaid internship. I started looking for unpaid internships, so that what happens is that you get to learn a lot. You're not, you're not very much at fault for your mistakes, because you're still learning and they don't pay you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. You won't be much accountable for all these things, and also you will be learning at the same time. And why startups? Because startups have somebody out there, somebody who has thought of this idea, somebody who is there, will be having a tech person who knows everything well off. Okay, from starting from the very scratch to the very end. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
there was this novel company which I was working on. I was very like, also an internship, I was doing parallelly to internships. Both
Mm-hmm.
were unpaid. Okay, so in this, which was a normal company, I was only subjected to a proper role as a web developer, where I got to know only that much, that okay, I have some PHP, I have to write codes, and that's it. But in the startup, I got to know how everything works from the very start. How do you take a task? How do you
Right.
develop the task? Who all is responsible for doing what? Who is responsible for designing, development, quality assurance, and
Mm-hmm.
who is responsible for releasing it? Who is responsible for deploying it? How do you deploy? How is the pipeline, the CI/CD pipelines? How do you connect it with GitHub? These all things come only when you are in a startup, because you get to know from the application from the very start to the very end. rather than you are working on some very small part in a company. So I
Mhm.
like that. So that's why I always wanted to do somewhat a startup kind, like work in a startup. So
Mhm.
that's totally on everybody's personal choice, because I find a lot of people working like at man companies. That's really good, but most of
Yes.
the people go for the brand or the name
Mhm.
of it, which is also fine. That's also matters. So
Yes.
it's your choice that either you want to go for a startup where you learn everything, or you want to focus on only a particular role and be a specialist in that. So that's
Mhm.
on you. Then this is how I found a lot of companies. I interviewed for almost, I applied for every company out there. I made 50 to 60 applications, I remember, out of which around 20 to 30 I didn't even get a reply from them. I sat for
Mhm.
interviews for 30 of the companies, and there were many stages of interview. You get to an interview from a technical person, they give you a technical exam. Sorry, they tell you to give a technical exam or a technical task which you have to complete. Then they review it. Then you go to the hiring manager or HR, and then there are a lot of break off points. So there were few of them where I got broke out at the technical side, where I got broke out at some other things, and yeah, some managers, yeah,
Mhm.
that's fine, happens. But at the end of the day, I was having only 3 to 4 offers out of that 60 for which I applied, and that to an unpaid internship. I was having just 3 to 4, which means that even though I reduced the competition by so much, then also I am left with so little. So, but yeah, then I figured out what can be a good idea. I talked with the CEO at SuperWorld. His name is Vish Lotlikar. Amazing guy. He speaks around the world everywhere. He has conferences and all. He's a keynote speaker. So yeah, um, cool enough. And then I loved the idea how they are working. So I started working out there, and once I started, there was never an end. It just went off straight.
So how did you come in
So yeah,
contact
that's
with
how
them?
I. Okay, yeah. So by all these sites, which is one is Internshala, Angel List,
Uh-huh. Yes.
there's LinkedIn, and more of these I can give you. You can put it in the description, and people can search jobs or startups or internships out there only. But that's how you
Yes.
contact. And there are many recruiters who want, people to be unpaid, or at least interns to be unpaid, because it's a 50-50 thing, that you get to learn, you
Mhm.
get experience, whereas they get the work done. So it's a 50-50 thing for both of us. Both are benefiting. So I feel that unpaid will be a good shot.
So it was unpaid at the start at SuperWorld.
It was unpaid for 2 years straight. It was unpaid. Like for the first year, it
Okay.
was totally unpaid, and then in the second year, they started giving me something, so that just as a general expense. If I can disclose it, it's like the first year I worked totally unpaid. For the last 6 months, I had some equity. So first 6 months was totally unpaid. The next six
Yes.
months, I was getting some equity from the company. At that time, our company wasn't even listed, so it doesn't
Mhm.
matter that much. But at a later point, it might. Then my CEO was very happy with my work, so he gave me a reward of around 10K dollars, which equivalents to about 7.5 lakhs, and
Okay.
really happy about it. And then after that, after 1 year of work, they stopped the equity, and they started giving me as an intern position. So not an intern position, but a part-time position pay, which was around 7.5 lakhs a year.
Okay.
So I would have taken that as an internship, because I find a lot of jobs which are like full time in India which pay the same.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I was
That's correct.
working as an intern, and I was getting the same pay as full time out in India. So I was happy with it, and especially I was working in this. And just to be clear with everyone, if you want to get hired, there's a very strong chance in the internships by which you can get PPO, which is a pre-placement
Mhm.
offer. Why do you do that? Is for because in the hirings, what happens? It's just 1 hour or 2 hour. A person judges you, or the interviewer judges you for that
Mhm.
role, and then he gives you a package. But in in the internships, they judge you for over 6 months. So in my company, they judge me for a
Right.
year before sinking on anything. So I have been
Right.
working for 2 years. After 1 year only, they made it clear that you are going to work here as so and so role, and you will be
Mm,
getting this much pay. It was not instantly or something like that. So if I say that at a startup also they are offering such good package, is just because they have been judging me over a period of 1 year, which is huge. Even if you get a package like a PPO after 3 to 4 months,
mm,
just make sure that you have been properly judged in those 3 to 4 months, and that's what I feel is really good, because you
mm,
cannot make a judgment of a person in like 1 or 2 hours. Maybe he wasn't 100% on that day, but obviously if you talk about 3 to 4 months, that makes sure that yeah, this is good. So yeah, that's more or less, yeah. That does that answer your question?
yes, yes, it does. But I would like to add a sub question to it. Like, you worked for such a long time without getting paid. So, at any point of time, did you feel like I'm not getting paid for my work, so I should leave it or something like that?
Yes, I used to feel that some point of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I used to feel that, but also at the same time, I started maintaining a sheet on which I started noting down that how much worth am I getting from it. That's the question:
Mm-hmm.
how much worth I'm getting from it. So I saw that yes, if I'm not getting paid, no problems, but I'm at least getting to learn new things. So I made a
Right.
checklist that every day I'm learning something new from the company. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's what matters, because I feel if you start working in a job after 12th, you get less paid. But if you are working 4 years more, like learning 4 years and then starting a job, you will obviously get paid more. So that's the difference, where you learn more and then you get a more pay, kind of that, or you earn more basically. So that's what my take is on this. Maybe different ideas, but that's how it goes. Yeah.
Yes, that is actually an interesting point of view for looking at the unpaid internships, because usually we not hear good things about that, and some people try to exploit it as well. But yeah, that is correct that you have to focus on learning part.
Yeah. And see, like, for everybody out here, that it's the internship from where you get easily an experience, firstly an experience, and the best way to learn from some place. Because I know you are doing on your laptop, everything is fine, but the industry experience, if you need the industry learning, you need at time, you have to get an internship. Be it paid, be it unpaid, that doesn't matter. Unpaid works better because you don't get to see the crunch, where they are like, they say that yeah, we are paying and why are you not delivering. You don't see that, but you get to learn the good part. So the unpaid has all the good side of it, except the pay. But yeah, if you want to, if you're in the
Yes,
learning stage and you know that you cannot compete between, good people, like very strong developers, at that point you go for unpaid. And you know that you are at a learning stage. What does the paid internships mostly want? I'm not trying to exploit it, but what does the paid internship mostly want
mm,
is that somebody who knows the thing and can work on it,
yes,
so that they get their products delivered. So what is happening, you know the thing, and you're working on that,
mm-hmm.
you're not learning new
Yes,
things. In an unpaid internship,
mm-hmm.
every time you are learning something new, building something new, learning something new, building something new. After 2 years, you are here with an unpaid internship, and you are here with a paid internship at the same place where you have not learned anything. So
Yes,
I
that's
would,
correct.
I would generally suggest paid internship, but personal choice.
Yeah, yeah, sure. That was a great
Yeah.
journey to discuss, and we will move to the CTC part right now. So I will add it to the stream.
Hmm.
Yeah. So can we discuss the CTC breakup of this offer? Like it is mentioned, you can go through it.
Yes. Yes. So, in short, my basic in hand right now, the basic in hand pay for a year is $110K, or 1,10,000. Okay, which equivalents to around 82 lakhs 64,000. That is when the dollar value was at 75. Okay, I'll tell you what's the consequence now. So this the basic in hand is what the company gives me. The
Right.
Wi-Fi bills is something they give me a month. Okay, per month they add on this, so it's like 1,200, which means 12 months. Every month I'll be getting $100 of Wi-Fi bills. Then
Okay.
what else? Yes. So I am also getting like I recently got a MacBook Pro, which is a one-time thing, a laptop which is a one-time thing from the company to
Mm-hmm.
work on. So that has his own expenses, so just leave that. The healthcare part is generally in a lot of companies where you get $500 for healthcare in a year. That's in a year, so that's also fine. When you need it, just ask for it, go ahead, you will get it. So all
Mm-hmm.
these things good. Now let me break it up furthermore. So the total cost to company is 115,200 dollars. But most of the companies, if you see with a really high package, they mostly give you in equity and they have different components. The basic in hand is very less, whereas my company gives me the basic in hand very much high, and the rest things
Yes.
are negotiable. So that's good for some people. That's not good for some people because I have to pay hefty amount of taxes because it is coming in hand. So all these just leave that part. But yeah, so this was my package, which says 86.55 back then when the dollar value was 75 INR, $1.75
Mm.
INR. This was back in March. But right now, if you
Right.
check, the dollar price has increased to 79 INR. $1 is equal to 79 INR, which has
Right.
increased my package to 90 lakhs. It's near to 90 point something. So it's above 90, but this has only come from the exchange rates, not, it has nothing to do with the company. The company stays on 115, like 115K.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's from the
Right.
company, but the equivalent, because it is getting converted into Indian currency, that's why it is extra. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, these are the things. What else would you like to know?
Yeah, so like for working, usually for working offline for an international offer, you get such a big amount. But
Hmm.
if you are getting it for work from home, so that is actually a lot of amount. So how are you planning to utilize this?
Yeah, that's a good thing. So I'm getting I'm getting a house built for my parents. So that's supposed to be the surprise for them. So
Oh, okay.
it's very expensive these days to buy houses or build one yourself. So I'm getting that done back in my hometown, and that's a surprise for them. So that's when I'm gonna release my stuff to them as a surprise. So that
Okay.
right now, current focus for all the money is going there only. Later on, I would plan to
Yeah.
invest in something, but right now it doesn't seem like an option because I feel the markets are poorly down. Even the crypto markets have gone really down, so
Yes.
not a chance to invest. But I would, yeah, because recently I was more of focused in my college studies only. My college just
Mhm.
ended like a month back, and my final result came this weekend only, the last weekend only. It was 8.80 CGPA. The SGPA for the last one was 10. It was a research project which I did for, yeah, for blockchain application only. But yeah, so I
Mm.
covered it, and I did not have any time to invest or plan about investing.
Right.
But later on, after the markets are back to the position, maybe I might think of investing.
Okay, so your all your money is going to building the home,
House.
dream home.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a big thing. It is in public. This video will be going in public, and
Yeah, no
I
worries,
hope
no worries.
they will not see it before you disclose this.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. So I would like to also tell the viewers a different aspect of you. That is that you have a Udemy course of with over 50,000 students.
Yes.
So yeah, please tell us about that.
Okay, so I started this Udemy thing when I found this random dude while I was looking for internship. I found a random dude from London, and he was somewhere telling me that, yeah, you know what, you can try teaching out here, and we will be putting your courses on Udemy. So firstly, I
Mm-hmm.
was good because that I don't have to waste a lot of time in this, because the video is gonna get recorded, and every person, I don't have to teach them one to one. It's gonna be a recorded video which they can see. So I was happy about it. Secondly, I had a good chance of, revisiting all my concepts, and I feel that once you teach somebody one the same topic what you have learned, your knowledge increases, because maybe your understanding power increases about the same topic. But you shouldn't be doing it every time, because what happens then, you do not learn. You just apply
Mm.
whatever you have learned, you are just applying it every time, or you're explaining the same thing. But once you do something like this, you're just increasing your knowledge once or twice, or you're at least revisiting everything. So that's why I thought that this is a good idea, let's start with it. So I
Yeah.
started. So
Yeah.
I did this in April of 2020. Just when the COVID started, I got to know that a lot of people have free time. A lot of people are
Yeah.
interested in the blockchain technology, so why not teach the blockchain technology? So I did some videos, made some videos. I made 3 courses out of it. We then I published it. So what happens, like, we did a 50-50 revenue share with that dude. So he gets
Mm-hmm.
50% of the revenue, and I get 50% of the revenue. And in together, he promotes it. He does all the promotion work, the discount offers, everything he does. And I
Correct.
just create the videos and send it to him to upload. So that was what I did. That was only for 1 month. So in 1 month,
Mm.
I was able to create 3 courses. It didn't take much time. It was just like a 15 days thing. And
Yeah.
I feel the benefits are good, because once I uploaded that, since that day,
Mm.
since May 2020, up till now, every month I get a revenue share from Udemy around $100. It ranges
Okay.
from $50, not even 50, $60 to $100 on an average in a month. I know that's
Yeah.
not much depending on the compensation I get from my company, but this is something I'm getting without doing anything. It's a one-time thing I did, and I'm getting it every month. I'm getting money out of it every month.
Correct.
So that's why that's a good option.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, and in India, if you see, even $100 is way good, because it equivalents to 8,000 a month, just as an
Correct.
add-on without
Correct.
doing anything, just being in the site. And I don't even open the site anymore, it just comes in. So that was it. And why did I want
Correct.
money at that time? Because I wanted to take more courses from Udemy, so that I get to
Mm-hmm.
learn more things. So
Correct.
I didn't want to, waste my parents' money. So I was like, okay, never mind, this is gonna pay me. So yeah,
Correct.
let's try. So I did that. I was getting a fortune, like good money out of it. So it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't even care. Just adds on
Uh,
every month.
yeah.
And but yes, the courses. The first one was not up to that standard what I have, because it was my first time. The second and third were
Correct.
amazing. They were really good, and people got a lot of benefit. And if you
Mm-hmm.
see the number of students, number of enrollments, I used to clear their doubts. Also, they used to send me messages, and I used to just tell them that maybe you made this wrong, or just send me a screenshot and I'll help you out. And by that, my student base grew up, and amazingly grew up. Like, everybody reaches to me on LinkedIn, they are like, yeah, we loved your course out there, and
Yeah.
everything, like, really good. So I just loved it. I just loved it. So yeah.
Yes. So,
So I just
college.
loved it, and
Yeah.
that from more. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
just
that's it.
asking
That's
that.
it.
Yeah. College is there. Then internship is there. Then Udemy course is there. So much of that. How did you manage all of this together?
Okay, so I was one of the COVID batches. Okay, so
Yes.
if you're one of the COVID batches, the first thing you get to know, it's work from home, study from home, everything from home. So you do not get the lethargy or the tiredness, because you know that,
Mhm.
like, what I was, I used to play football every day 1 hour. I used to roam around, go out, then classes and all. So I, like, a bit of tiredness was there. But when it
Mhm.
shifted to work from home, you are sitting or lying on the bed the whole day. Your energy is lost less, so you can exceed on it more. So how I used to do was, I used to put almost all my classes on recording. Okay, because I knew that I am not gonna work on it, or I don't understand that in that pace, or if I used to understand it, then good enough. So some classes I used to do in the college, and some I used to just record it because it was
Correct.
online. And then at the end of the day, in the evening, after all these classes got over, I used to just open up the recording, go through it, and believe me or not, I was able to cover a 1 hour class in like 25 to 27 minutes. Maybe it would be the recording speed
Okay.
because I was playing it at 1.5x, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
I was getting more understandability, because somewhere you might want to pause the video, might want to understand it for a minute and then go. But what was happening in the online class, where if you don't understand that part in that minute, you're lost. You cannot get anything after that. If you lose connection for a minute, you cannot get anything after that, and you cannot even understand or take time to understand that.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
that was a frequent time loss. So I tried removing all my time loss here and there. So one was that, and secondly, if I had a boring class which I can put on recording and do something else, I used to put it on recording. I used to start with the previous day's class, or I used to have some assignments which I have kept for that time so that I can do that. So I used to have classes from same as every college student, 9 to 5. 5 o'clock I used to
Yes.
close it, and then 5 to 6 or 7 I would yeah, I was able to complete at least 4 of my theory classes for that day. In 2 hours I was able to complete 4 of my theory classes. It used to be four theory classes and maybe one lab. So mostly our
Mm,
timetable was one lab per day and four theory classes. So I was able to cover that in the next 2 hours. So 5 to 7 I was able to do that. Then from 7 to from 7 to 8 I used to work in the internship. So I was having two internships at the same time. So either I
mm,
would learn, or I would do the other internship. So the internship I was working at from I was working from 7 to 8. From 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock I used to take out time for myself, including dinner and all. And
mm,
back at 9 o'clock I used to be back at my table. I used to work at SuperWorld from 9 to 1 o'clock. That's 4 hours. Interns are mostly for 4 hours. So 9 to
mm.
1 I used to work for SuperWorld, and from 1 to 3 for the previous internship I used to work, because I would say that at night you're more good at the application side of it rather than learning something or reading something,
Mm,
because you might feel sleepy, but if you try coding something, that's going to give you a very good push in the night and you don't feel sleepy.
mm, mm.
So I used to work till 3 a.m. in the night, then again next morning I used to get up at 8 and then again start working. So that's what was my like normal routine. And all my weekends, obviously you cannot go out because it's covid, you're locked in your room. So what do? You learn, you study. So that's what I used to do over my weekends. I used to just open up things and try learning it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that was
that was
brilliant
the
time
answer.
management. So you were the top scorer in your class. You are the top package holder in the entire history of Triple IT, I guess. Triple IT Bhubaneswar, at least.
Yes,
Yeah, so that was great.
but yeah, all comes in with dedication, how you manage your time and how you apply it. So all these added together gave me that push,
That's correct. So
right?
now I will actually like to ask you one question about Web3 and Web2. So do
Yes.
you think that Web3 will be replacing Web2? And can you tell us the use cases where it will be and it will not be?
Okay, so Web3 firstly comes with decentralization, Web2 is centralized. Okay,
Right.
there are many applications like right now in the last year, maybe 2020, everything or most of the things were in Web2. We are making a transition from 2020 to 2023. Maybe we will be able to transition things to Web3, and then we will go for Web3. The new version that came in as Web3 obviously has few limitations, has few advantages both. But the advantage side is way more than the disadvantages. Firstly, decentralized control is what the main thing comes in with, because decentralized means, okay, wow, now everybody has access to it. That like access as in not read and write, like read access but not write access, and all the transactions are verified with many people. So it's not just one guy who is trying to do the hacking. Will be totally removed with web3. You cannot hack shit with
Mhm.
web3. With web2 you can do hack servers, you can get your items deleted, you can get your databases deleted, all these can happen.
Mhm.
But with web3 you cannot. So web3 is firstly hack proof, like it's really tough to hack that. There's a flaw which I'll tell you. The and
Mhm.
it is decentralized, so everybody gets to know, more transparent, more secure. All these things comes in. And what else? And yeah, the downtime is very low. Like there's no downtime actually. Like if I talk
Mhm.
about the let's talk about IPFS is a decentralized storage. So what happens, your data is not on one database, like let's say Google Drive. So everything is not on Google Drive, everything is distributed, and we have many copies around the world with different computers or different databases. So what happens
Okay.
if your thing is in a cloud or a Google Drive, and let's say somehow that database gets crashed, your all data is lost. But with IPFS, every person or a lot of person or a lot of people will be having the same data copied into their machine. They cannot access it because it is encrypted by your key, but it will stay in
Mhm.
their machine, so that in case at least like two or three people get disconnected from the network, there are more people who can serve you that data. Excuse me. Yeah. So that is
Correct.
what
Yeah.
is good part, and how the IPFS name came in. It's a decentralized database. How the name came in was by interplanetary file system. It
Mhm.
leverages the fact that it doesn't matter which planet you are in, even if you are on different planets, you will have the same speed of retrieving the data and storing the data. Why?
Okay.
Because what it does, let's give you a very small example. There's a server in the US, and you are
Mhm.
here. The data you are in India, the data you have to fetch will be from US, so it's going to take a lot of time, okay, a bit like in milliseconds, more milliseconds.
Correct.
But what happens, first time you do this, okay, the next time what somebody from China is trying to retrieve the same data, it won't have to query to the US. It will directly IPFS will direct it to India's database and pull the data from there. So what is happening, it will pull always from the nearest source the data is available to. So that reduces the traffic firstly, and it is really fast. So this is about IPFS, a Web3 protocol. And
Mhm.
yeah, more Web3 things are coming in. Everybody has moved from Chrome to Brave, like most of the people, because Brave is way better. It doesn't show ads, and a lot of things are there with the Web3 protocol. So really good. Web3 can take over the world, I feel.
So will it be complete a hundred
Oh,
percent transition?
no, not 100% transition. I forgot to tell you the flaw. There's a flaw with the 51% attack which happens in blockchain. So
Okay.
blockchain is a democracy kind of thing, a democracy of internet, you can think. So what happens if there's something false, less people vote for it. The true value is more people who have voted for it. That's how you select leaders in democracy. Same
Mhm.
case. So if you want to find a truth value, the more people will go for the majority, and that's the true value, and less will go for false. But what happens if you try to manipulate people who are with you, or at least 50% or more of the network, to come on your side and vote for the false one, or vote for a leader who is on your side? Okay, it's like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay.
Then there's a problem. But
Mhm.
this doesn't happen because with Ethereum and blockchain, there are a lot of people, so you cannot convince
Mhm.
51%. But in some private blockchain networks, there's a possibility that you can convince like 3 to 4 people, and there were 7 people only,
Mhm.
and you convinced four of them, so you can go with the false data. So that's how you can hack
Okay.
the system. So this is a flaw, but not 100% transition. 60/40, you can think 60 to Web3 and 40 to Web2.
Up
So
to,
that's the
yeah.
plan. Yeah, that's my approach.
Mhm.
So yeah, tell me what more.
Yeah, so I think we will be moving to the closer to the end of the discussion. So before that, I would like to ask you: are there any openings at SuperWorld? And if yes, then how can we reach them?
To be honest, no, there are no openings at SuperWorld. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
competitive space now, and we have moved to a place now where we don't hire interns. Now we are, ramping up. We are pulling it up. This is a phase of startup where we have to pull up, and at that point, we only need experienced people, not interns or not even normal jobs. So that's why. So that's why we have, we don't have any interns anymore. We don't have any openings. Whoever is there in the company is there, and we are working with them. So yeah,
Okay,
no
okay,
openings.
okay,
Sorry.
sure. Yeah. So, any final tips for juniors and as well as your peers, even?
Um, to be honest, I would say that please work hard. Work hard,
Yeah.
manage your time well, and you have to pull up everything you have got. Maybe it's gonna be a tough time for 1 year, 1.5 year, maybe 2 years, but not more than that. It's gonna be a tough time for 2 years maximum. But just remember, just remember the saying that you cannot skip to the good part before grinding for the good part. So you have to work hard, you have to grind for it, and then only you get to the good part of the things. So yeah, the struggle is there. If you're ready for the struggle, if you're up for the struggle, if you're ready to learn new things, then yeah, this is your line, and there's a very heavy chance that you can get what you want or what your dreams are pulling towards you. So yeah, possibly yes.
Yes. So, to all the viewers who are
Yes.
getting this from, yeah, yes.
No, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that to all the viewers that we are getting this from someone who has been a top scorer in his college, who has been doing great in sports, who has got the highest package. So I think we must really pay attention to what he said, and yeah, we have to work hard to before the for the good part to start.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it for my viewers. I loved it. I just love the conversation. I hope a lot of people get inspired. Like in my company, also my juniors, also in my college, have been telling me all this that yeah, you're a living inspiration for us, and that's what I want to be. And even I don't want to leave my hard work. I still want to do it, but at the same time motivate others to get to this place. It's very hard. Like if you're the more you are at the top, the more alone you are. So that's why I want more
Right.
people to be up here, and yeah, so that everybody is happy, we are together. That's what my plan is. Let's see how far it goes, but that's it. So I'll leave it with you. Bye bye, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Swapnil Bhaiya, for joining us, and it was a great discussion. And I will just say the viewers that if you like this video, please hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel. It takes a lot of efforts for this, and I will make sure that more exciting and new videos will be coming up. And yeah, so thank you everyone, and yeah, we can end this.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
It's caught in the crossfire.